So I'm Professor Simon Thompson from Swansea University Medical School, and for the last 15 years I've been working on building trusted research environments within the SeRP data bank and wider. I spent my entire career working, inside a university, but in the medical domain, and recently I've sort of taken a more of a director role in SeRP and Dementia Platform UK, and really driving the agenda there to kind of drive the innovation.
Yeah. And I think one of the more recent developments at SeRP is the SeRP Hub. And I was wondering if you could just explain briefly about what a hub is and how it looks, and outline the sort of technical detail about it.
Yeah, sure. I guess at SeRP here in the UK, we run 28 different TREs, and they're all very different in shape and nature, in size as well. So SeRP Data Bank is one of those. And I think we have a different model for what a TRE is than some of our partners. Some partners would describe one project being one TRE, whereas we believe a TRE is the collection of all of the data, the governance, and all of the projects within a single TRE. So, for instance, SeRP Data Bank has at the moment about 500 active projects, all within that single instance, and then Deep UK has about 300, and so on and so forth, and there's a decay there. So that's what a TRE is, and I think we've been running TREs at scale for a long time, and we recognise that one of the barriers to starting a TRE is understanding how to approach information governance and policies and procedures and accreditation and all of these things which are not directly related to performing science or enabling science in some ways. So the more mature TREs, such as Deep UK and SeRP and the MS Register, have started to embrace helping other groups of researchers, if you like, and a hub is a representation of that. So a hub is almost, as an analogy, a TRE inside a TRE, where the real analogy we use all the time is living at home with your parents, in the sense that when you go home, there's food in the fridge, the electricity's on, the rent is paid, all of these things are done for you, and yet when you go to your own room, you can put Def Leppard pictures on the wall and express yourself in any way you like, but you live by the rules of the house. So a TRE inside a TRE means that you can focus on the science aspect, and you inherit all the information governance and the policies and procedures and the application process and all of that administrative stuff that really is a distraction from the main objective of performing science or enabling science, is the data sets that you want.
Thank you. And are there any is there a typical project that perhaps this new sort of TRE hub wouldn't be suitable for? Are there projects that would require a full TRE, say?
Yeah, and I think projects, again, is the wrong scale. These are programs of work in some ways. So obviously a program has many projects in it. I think it's right for the people who probably could have been a TRE on their own right, but the costs would have been a lot higher because you've had to have worked out information governance and policies and procedures, all those sort of things. And obviously this is a way of reducing the costs, but also the startup time. So a hub, the startup time is like 1 week. So, from signing the contract, you're live and you're up and operating within a week. So it's not necessarily suitable for a program of work that really, really wants to deviate from the host organization. So because you are inheriting all the information governance rules and so on and so forth. So for SeRP, for instance, it operates on pseudo-anonymized data. If you wish to hold fully identifiable data, this, from a SeRP perspective, this is not a problem. But you can't be a hub inside SeRP in this case, because you're going directly against the main principles, operating principles of the host TRE. In which case we'd have to find you another TRE to be a hub in, or establish you as your own TRE, full stop.
And have there been any particular complexities or challenges or discoveries, I suppose, to developing these new TRE hubs at SeRP?
Yeah, I mean, we've been on a journey, because we started this as a small nucleus of an idea, and I think it's sort of exploded in its popularity, which has taken me by surprise. And I guess we have responded to that by there are now 3 different types of hubs, for instance, which there wasn't when we started this. So we're constantly evolving and constantly adapting to what we think the research community needs. Obviously, when you first start a hub up and you start this idea, it's simple in principle, but actually, your host organization's got to get aligned to it and accept it and understand that relationship with it. The data sharing between a hub and a host organization, we had an initial model for how that would work, and that was fine for the first few hubs, if you like, but then it inherently just gets more complicated, doesn't it? So we're now moving to hubs 2.0, which is how do we understand the data sharing between your siblings, in my analogy about living with your parents. How do we share between the data between two hubs and the parent, and how do we make that transparent and legal and fair and so on and so forth. But also I think the evolution of the type of hubs is really interesting in the sense that we have researcher hubs, which is basically the way I've described it up until now. But we've already had a technical hub come along, and a technical hub is effectively buying more of SeRP, more of SeRP's capability. So TBI, for instance, it has dedicated HPC resource and GPU access, which is ring fenced for its hub, and it has made payments to kind of buy those services from SeRP itself. So although it is a hub inside DPUK, and everything that means, but it also has, if you like, bought some of the bespoke services that SeRP could offer, where perhaps its host organization hasn't. I think there's a third type of hub that is emerging, which is more of a thematic hub, and this is more of a presentation than a reality. People often focus on cancer or diabetes or whatever. So, this is, can we get the data sets inside an existing TRE and represent them as these are all the cancer data sets, and this is all the documentation about the cancer-related themes, and same with diabetes. So that's more of an organization, a catalog, and so on and so forth. But I think there's a lot more demand for that at the moment as well, going forwards.
And you've talked about some of the existing hubs there already inside, some of the existing infrastructures and existing TREs. From what I understand, there's some of the existing sort of full-scale TREs perhaps they're playing host to one or two of these hubs, whereas some of the other full TREs perhaps have many hubs. And I wondered if you could just sort of describe why that might be and how that's come about.
So I guess the point is, though, your relationship with your parent TRE or your host organization, there has to be a synergy there. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to abide by the rules of the house or the operating rules of the host TRE. So the British Heart Foundation, for instance, went inside SaIL because it has a very, very strict information governance, and SaIL has for many years proven that it's got a very, very robust information governance model, and the way that it operates is at the very, very top of what is possible. And therefore there was a natural synergy there. For DPUK, then things like traumatic brain injury and Parkinson's and motor neuron disease hubs have chosen this environment because, again, it's focusing on cohorts, particularly about augmentation of data, about medical imaging, neuroimaging, so on. So again, there was a synergy with the type of science that was happening in that hub, in that TRE in the first place. So again, there's a natural fit. We recently had a nurture hub, which was about a patient register for kidney disease. And it originally came, perhaps it should go in DPUK, but actually we thought this is the wrong place. There was better synergy in the MS register, who have been maintaining a register of people with MS for the last, whatever it is, 8 years or so, and really know about how to do that engagement with the group of people to maintain that register. So we placed them with that community because they would thrive in that community. Although they're doing kidney disease instead of MS, the principles about how you maintain the community and how you engage with the community is really, really understood by the group who are running that TRE. So I think that synergy is really, really important. I think just putting somewhere anywhere isn't going to give the best outcome, I think.